welcome to the Great Detectives of Old Time Radio from Boise, Idaho. This is your host, Adam Graham. In a moment, we're going to bring you this week's episode of Charlie Chan. But first, I want to encourage you, if you're enjoying the podcast, to please follow us using your favorite podcast software. I also want to take an opportunity to let you know about one of our other podcasts, and I'm highlighting The Great Adventurers of Old Time Radio. It's our newest effort, featuring 2 great adventure episodes per week, in your Flash Gordon and Cloak and Dagger. Check it out at greatadventures.info. Now we are moving on to a shorter Charlie Chan serial. This is once again a partial. We're kind of coming in the middle, but I think the recaps do a good job explaining what's happened to date. In addition, we are only going to have 3 weeks with this particular serial, so it's not going to be another Landini murder mystery thing, so much shorter story, as we try to untangle the murder of Colonel Willoughby. Now, there are often dates given for this series for September and October 1936, and I'm not entirely sure that that is accurate, given that it assumes that the serials are played once a week, which was not generally the way that these 15-minute shows were aired, generally like 3 times a week. But we will go ahead and say that these episodes are from 1936, and the episodes are known as The Colonel's Son is Murder Suspect and Simmons' Confrontation About Identity.
The most delightfully fascinating character in the realms of mystery, Earl Durbigger's Charlie Chan. Inspector Charlie Chan of the Honolulu Police Force is engaged in trying to solve the murder of Colonel Willoughby. The elderly colonel had been struck down in the hallway of Mr. Blake's house in San Francisco. Inspector Chan feels that the murder had some connection with the colonel's search for his son, who had supposedly committed suicide during the war. Simmons, Mr. Blake's butler, falls under suspicion since he steadfastly refuses to talk. But Inspector Chan is convinced that Simmons did not commit murder. Sir Reginald Bartleby, also a guest, accompanies Miss Mitchell, the murdered man's secretary, to search the colonel's hotel room, where they find a stranger going through the colonel's papers. Charlie Chan arrives on the scene, and after ordering Sergeant O'Brien to take the man to prison, he announces to the others that the prisoner is none other than the missing son, Douglas Willoughby, Jr.
Are you really serious, Chan?
Most assuredly, my dear Duff. I am certain of it. Mr. Jim Watson is none other than the Colonel's lost son.
I suppose you'll laugh at my woman's intuition, but that's what I felt.
You see, Duff, from the moment Sergeant O'Brien mentioned the fact that Colonel Willoughby had been murdered, the young man's expression completely changed.
I wasn't watching particularly at the moment. What did he do?
Up until that moment, he seemed to be somewhat concerned with the predicament in which he found himself. But with the announcement that the colonel had been murdered, a look of pain crossed his feature. He was stunned. There was no acting. He was genuinely shocked.
That, of course, would tend to show him innocent of the murder, at least.
But it wasn't that sort of a look. I mean, it wasn't that he was amazed or anything like that. He was, well, you've seen people who've received word of the sudden death of a relative or friend. It was exactly like that.
Added to that, Duff, a little Chinese saying.
What do you mean, Charlie?
Through the eyes of the aged man, you can look back into the past and see the youth. In the features of the youth, you can look forward into the future to see the man he will become. There is a similarity of feature which cannot be denied.
Well, then, if you felt that he, Watson, was the Colonel's son, why did you encourage O'Brien to arrest him?
Because he will be safer in jail than in any other place. The murderer, who so brutally cut down his aged father, will not hesitate to kill the son. And consider, Duff, what explanation can we make to O'Brien? We shall have to tell O'Brien of the inside of the case, so to speak. We can hardly expect cooperation from Sergeant if we fail to enlighten him as to facts leading up to and involving case.
Yes. We, Sir Reginald, the Colonel, all of us naturally wanted to keep the matter of the Colonel's search for his son away from the gentlemen of the press. But now
I think with proper explanation to Sergeant O'Brien, he will keep secret. All Irishmen, even if born in San Francisco, are sentimentalists. However, we have more work here.
Here are all the Colonel's business papers on this desk. I'm sure there's nothing here that can help. I've been through them all.
No, it is not an expected place. We should look for papers I seek.
No? And what papers, Charlie?
Think, please, both of you. What was young man doing here? Searching for papers. Is that not so?
Yes, we assumed that
He apparently did not find them, or, if he did, he hid them when he heard you, Miss Evelyn, and Sir Reginald come to room. Now, where would you, if you were caught unawares, hide papers? Remember, when fox is pursued by hounds, he eludes his pursuers by thinking like them.
All right, now, what papers would they be, and how big a package?
That question, Duff, my friend, you can answer as easily as I. Now look about you. What seems disarranged? Pictures are all straight. Desks we have searched. Carpet on floor seems taut and even. No hidden wall safe behind curtain. Wardrobe trunk is locked. Come in, please.
Oh, Reggie and the district attorney.
Yes. We saw Sergeant O'Brien. He told us what had transpired to date.
We thought you might be searching for papers, so we thought we'd drop round and help you. I was going to wait till breakfast, but the old thrill of the chase, the manhunt. Even at my age, a man doesn't outlive it.
O'Brien told you about his prisoner, Mr. Holbrook?
Yes, it seems certain that he was the fellow who left his hat on the hall table. Said that he wouldn't talk, and that you, Mr. Chan, recommended that he be locked up.
Indeed, yes.
Charlie maintains, and I agree with him now, that O'Brien's prisoner is the Colonel's son.
By Jove, you astound me. You don't mean it.
I am certain of it. But come, explanations later. We must continue search for papers.
Well, I may not be the world's greatest searcher, but I'm certain there's nothing in this suitcase.
Searching? That's supposed to be the prerogative of the district attorney's office. Searching and finding what doesn't exist. Did you look in that flower pot?
No, but I will. A key. Looks like the key to that trunk.
I hardly think, however, that our prisoner had time to unlock the trunk, hide the papers, and relock the trunk. No, I am inclined to opinion that it is some simple place we shall find papers.
A woman, of course, would hide them under the mattress on the bed.
I'm looking there now. Sorry, they're not there.
Did you ask your prisoner where he hid them?
No, we did not. I do not think he would give us an answer to that question any more than he would to the other questions we asked.
Just the same, we've got our own methods. I'll call O'Brien. Hello. Get me police headquarters. Yes. This is the district attorney. By the way, Inspector Chan, what do you expect to find in these papers?
I am hopeful that we will find that link which will complete for us the chain of evidence with which we shall shackle murderer.
You're pretty hopeful. I wish you and us luck. Oh, hello. Listen, this is Holbrook. Yes. Where's O'Brien? I want to talk to him right away. Right, he's still there.
By the way, Duff, I wirelessed England, notified everybody I could think of.
You sent word to Gerald?
Yes. I rather imagine he'll want to make the funeral arrangements. Gerald, Mr. Chan, is the Colonel's nephew, the heir to the estates.
Not if our prisoner is Colonel Willoughby's son.
Gods, that does complicate matters, doesn't it? I hadn't thought of that at all.
Oh, hello there, O'Brien. Listen, see if you can persuade your prisoner to tell where he hid the papers he found when he was searching the Colonel's hotel room. I know he won't talk. Try a little persuasion. What's that? You did? No, don't say anything to anyone, you understand? Now, listen, O'Brien, you handle this the way Inspector Chan and Inspector Duff want it handled, and you're due for promotion. Right. Goodbye.
Your tone of voice would indicate that Sergeant O'Brien had made discovery.
He has. He went through Colonel Willoughby's wallet.
And he found
A
what?
faded photograph of a young fellow in uniform. He says it's a photograph of your prisoner, Watson.
But he disclosed his findings to no one?
He hasn't so far, and I've warned him, as you heard, to keep his mouth shut.
Well, Jolly, your surmises, deductions, and eliminations are correct. Not to mention your woman's intuition, Miss Mitchell.
All of which, however, while definitely proving that we are correct, does not bring us closer to finding the murderer. That requires the finding of the other papers.
But on the other hand, Inspector Chan, you have no proof that there were or are any other papers.
No? But do you think, Sir Reginald, that this man, I do not know whether to refer to him as Watson or Willoughby, do you think that he came here searching, that he committed burglary merely on the possibility that there were papers? No, I think not. He knew that papers referring to him existed.
Do you think, Inspector Chan, that he wanted the papers to prove his identity?
I do not. I think the man has forever given up the thought of claiming relationship with the murdered man. I believe that he wished to destroy the papers, to ensure forever that the past was dead.
But why?
To answer that question, as to why a human being does things contrary to natural impulses, is to answer the riddle of the mind. It is to solve the problem of the insane. It is to supply the answer to what is genius. Only young Willoughby can answer that question, and we must use utmost care in trying to persuade him to do so.
Well, the only thing I know left to do is to have this room completely turned inside out. We haven't the time to do it, so I suppose we'll have to turn that over to Mr. Holbrook's staff.
It is at such moments as these that I regret not having my assistant Kashimo with me.
Kashimo? Oh, yes, the little Japanese I met in Honolulu?
He is the same. He is world's prize bungler. He enters with fanfare of trumpet where angels fear to tread. But he has unique faculty for interesting himself in other people's affairs. And as such, bungler though he is past master in art of searching. One moment, please. I have thought. Miss Evelyn, will you be pleased to rise from chair? Search under cushion.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chan. No papers here.
A moment's contemplative thought. If I found papers and wish to destroy same, and at conclusion of search, I am interrupted. I desire to hide papers, but also to try and assure their being destroyed. I should remove colored paper from bottom of wastebasket, placing papers underneath colored paper. This time we are fortunate. Here are papers.
I'll be dashed.
Newspaper clippings.
By Jove, I say that's searching.
Look, here's a cutting. The London Daily Sketch, March 11th, 1916. Colonel Willoughby's son Douglas, lieutenant in King's Rifles, to be tried by a military court.
Here's another. Lieutenant prefers suicide to court-martial.
By Jove, look at this.
What is it, Duff?
Look here, everybody. Colonel Douglas Willoughby inspects Birmingham volunteers. Here's the colonel walking down the front rank, and look who's behind him, the sergeant major.
Simmons, Mr. Blake's butler.
You are correct. Come. No time must be lost. We must question Simmons. But more than that, if murderer knows that Simmons is here at Blake's house, his life is not worth the proverbial penny.
Inspector Chan and Inspector Duff of Scotland Yard are in Blake's study when the suspected Simmons knocks on the door.
Come in, please.
You rang, sir?
Yes, Simmons. Is Mr. Blake at home?
Yes, sir. Mr. Blake, sir, is in the library. You wish to speak with him?
If you please, Simmons. Has Sergeant O'Brien arrived yet?
Sergeant O'Brien, sir, is in the gymnasium on his hands and knees, sir, examining the floor with a magnifying glass.
Indeed. You seem to find some measure of humor in the situation, Simmons.
Begging your pardon, sir, but considering Sergeant O'Brien's sarcastic remarks about Sherlock Holmes, I do find a tinge of humor in his position, sir, if not the situation.
Here.
By Jove, you know, that's something I haven't done for a long time. I have half a mind to join the sergeant. In fact, I shall. After you, Simmons.
Yes.
Wonder what the deuce Duff has up his sleeve. Something on his mind.
Undoubtedly, yes. But what? Ah, well, we shall learn in due course. Miss Evelyn,
Yes, Mr. Chan.
you have arranged these newspaper clippings, notes, and diary on that table?
Yes, Mr. Chan. Everything is as you wished it.
Splendid. I think, yes, I am certain that now it would be better for you to get some rest. You will stay here.
Here, Mr. Chan. Oh, but I have my room at the hotel.
Yes, quite so, yes. You have none of your things here. I realize that, and I took the liberty of having the hotel people send them here.
But why? I can just as
Yes,
easily...
quite, Miss Evelyn. If murderer has any thought that you may know something regarding Colonel's search for son, he will as ruthlessly kill you as he has Colonel.
Oh.
No, Miss Evelyn. Until such time as murderer is under lock and key, you do not move from under our eyes.
I think you're right, Inspector. I only wish I had your optimism in regard to capturing the killer.
Do not worry, Sir Reginald. We shall catch him.
But you haven't the slightest idea who he is, or what he looks like, or where to start searching for him.
Think, Sir Reginald? What other, shall we say, proverb do you make frequent use of at Scotland Yard? What other, besides essential clue, will carry you through?
I don't know exactly what you're driving at.
Is this remark not familiar? The murderer always returns to the scene of his crime.
Well, yes, I've forgotten that for the moment.
The murderer will in this instance do so. If not of his own volition, then because of trap which we shall bait and set for him. Consider, too, if you please, we have not only to arrest murderer to avenge killing of kindly old gentleman, but we must do so in order to free young man at present held in jail.
Oh, yes, I feel so sorry for that young man. I did when Sir Reginald and I, walked in on him at Colonel Willoughby's hotel room.
I have to admit that even though caught in the act, he didn't strike me as being a thief.
But until murderer is caught, that young man's life is not worth anything. I know that I'm right. Murder will kill him if he finds out that he is young Douglas Willoughby. No, he is safer in jail, no matter how unpleasant.
Oh, there you are. Simmons told me you had returned.
First, Mr. Blake, can we impose upon you to the extent of having Miss Evelyn provided with sleeping quarters? I am fearful of allowing her out of our sight.
Oh, yes. Afraid the murderer might get her, too. Yes, I see. Why, certainly. Simmons will show you to her room. You'll ring the bell, Sir Reginald? Of course.
Oh, I feel... That is, I really hate to put you to this trouble.
Oh, not at all. Delighted to have you with us. Oh, I almost forgot. This telegram arrived a short time ago.
Oh, thanks. Oh, just learned of my uncle's death. I'm flying from Chicago. Gerald.
Gerald? Colonel Willoughby's nephew?
Yes, we knew he was on a trip around the world, but we didn't know he was in the States.
Mr. Blake, may I use your telephone?
Certainly.
Thank you so much. Hello? Give me telegraph company, please. Yes, thank you. Hello? Please send this for me. Addressed to Gerald Willoughby. Your uncle murdered. Come to Blake's, San Francisco. Signed, Duff. Where to? Telegraph company will have to call Chicago hotels. You shall do that at once, and answer is required. Try expensive hotels first. Yes. Thank you so much.
What on earth? You're trying to find out whether or not Gerald is or was in Chicago?
Precisely.
Well, he couldn't have sent the first telegram if he hadn't been.
Perhaps I am over careful, but between time murder was committed and sending of this telegram, murderer could have flown from here to Chicago to send said telegram.
Oh, but Gerald had no reason to kill the old man.
He believed he was heir to the estate?
Well, yes, that's true. But they were the best of friends. And in any case, Gerald has plenty of money of his own.
Man who has fallen in well does not require to be told that hole is there. No. When we receive answer to that telegram, we shall have either one way or other definite answer as to Mr. Gerald's whereabouts.
The young lady is ready.
Oh, why, yes. Thank you, everybody.
Rest well.
Anything you require, just ring for it.
Thank you, Mr. Blake.
Here is Sergeant O'Brien. Well, Sergeant, did our prisoner talk?
Not a word will he say. Says he doesn't care what we do to him.
Simmons informed us that you were making exhaustive search of floor and gymnasium.
And that I did. I searched the floor for traces of mud. and I found that the man who made the footprint outside the front door walked down the hallway into the gymnasium as far as the motion picture machine and back onto the hall rug. And that's all.
Which finding would tend to substantiate our previous belief that the murderer slipped into the house, handed note to Colonel, lowered him the hallway, and killed him all within the space of a few moments.
And that it does.
Ah, and here is Inspector Duff. I think, yes, I am certain now is time to question Simmon.
Simmon? Is Simmon really mixed up in this affair?
Very much so, Mr. Blake, but in manner totally unexpected.
I've rung for him.
Thank you so much, Sir Reginald. Sergeant and Mr. Blake, we are asking you to bind yourselves to secrecy in what is about to be disclosed. It will make much that is not clear quite clear.
You rang, sir?
A closed door, if you will be so kind.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Sergeant Major.
Yes, sir? Did you speak, sir?
Useless to deny anything any more, Simmons. Look, if you will be so kind, at these newspaper clippings. One is of particular interest. It shows Colonel Willoughby inspecting regiment of Birmingham volunteers. Figure of Sergeant Major follows escorting officers, as is the custom in British Army. Sergeant Major is Simmons by name.
I see, sir. There's no use, as you say, denying anything.
Quite correct, Simmons. On dark night, lighted way, no longer is oft-times quickest way home. Full explanation is in order, I believe.
Yes, sir. It is really quite simple, sir. I was walking down Market Street one day. I saw a somewhat familiar figure looking at sporting goods in a window. I looked again and recognized him as Colonel Willoughby's only son. We had lunch. I tried to persuade him to let his father know he was alive.
Did he give any reason for his refusal?
Yes, sir, he did. He said that his father had at first believed the charge of cowardice against him. He said that he preferred to remain dead, sir.
Do you understand why the charge was preferred against him?
Yes, sir. He was ordered to retreat by his superior officer. He obeyed orders, sir.
His superior officer was afterwards killed?
No, sir. His superior officer denied giving any such order when inquiries were made later.
And there were no witnesses?
There were, sir. But neither the witnesses nor Lieutenant Willoughby would say a word, sir. The entire thing was hushed up as rapidly as possible, sir, once it was believed that Lieutenant Willoughby had committed suicide.
You thought that he'd done so too, Simmons.
I did, sir. I was dumbfounded when I saw the young master on Market Street. Then, sir, when I learned that the colonel was coming to the house here to talk, I called Master Douglas and told him to come over. He wanted to see his father, to hear his voice, even if he did not disclose himself to him.
I understand, Simmons. And young Willoughby left the house before the murder was committed?
Yes, sir, most certainly, sir. Shall I answer it, sir?
Yes, Simmons. We must try and get Simmons to tell us who the superior officer was who denied this order to retreat. There lies our solution.
You think so?
I am certain of it.
I remember the case, but as far as my memory serves me, no other officer was ever mentioned.
Telegram for you, Mr. Duff.
Oh, for me? Thank you. Excuse me, please.
Oh, pardon me, gentlemen. I shall answer the door again.
I can't make this out. Look, Gerald Willoughby, staying at Drake Hotel this past week, but left for San Francisco by plane 9:10 this morning. Manager, Hotel Drake.
An answer to my telegram. I desired to find out whether or not Mr. Gerald Willoughby was or was not in Chicago.
Well, according to this, he was, all week.
Oh, Gerald wouldn't be mixed up in this.
Then the fellow we have in jail is the colonel's son?
Yes, Sergeant. But you realize it is better that he remain there until we have murderer in our grasp.
And that it is, sir. The man that killed the father wouldn't hesitate about killing the son.
Now remember, please, everyone, we must continue our questioning of Simmons very carefully. We must find the name of officer who was responsible for tragedy.
Wonder what's keeping Simmons. He must still be at the front door. Open. By chance. Stop. Simmons. Simmons. Quick, Simmons has been hurt.
What? Out of my way, Inspector.
Call the doctor, Blake.
Simmons,
Call the doctor.
this is Charlie Chan. Who was it?
Record. Get records. It was. I saw him.
So sorry. But it is too late.
Just when Simmons was about to disclose what he knew, the murderer strikes again. After you've heard from your sponsor, Inspector Chan will be with us again. Well, Inspector Chan, what do you have for us this evening?
I have been thinking of persons who are always in a hurry, who always ride roughshod, so to speak, to their goal. Chinese people have saying regarding saying.
Yes, Mr. Chan?
The wise man waits for the egg to hatch. He does not break it open with a hatchet.
Thank you, Inspector Chan, and good night.
Welcome back. I feel like the recap did a really good job getting us caught up on a much simpler murder case as opposed to one that was written for a novel. Again, it's not quite as deep or involved, and so I wouldn't be surprised if we're only missing, somewhere like 2 to 5 parts. I also recognized a couple of voices from the Landini murder case, which means the series has kind of got a rep company feel going on. I appreciate that Charlie Chan tried to keep people safe. You hear so many programs where the detective just kind of lets things happen, even when you should suspect, based on experience, that people are going to be in danger. But here he's being proactive. It's just that you can't protect everybody. And I guess, only if you're a genre-savvy detective. Wait, you're about to tell us something? Okay, guard him. Don't let him go anywhere. But here, the killer was able to go ahead and get to Simmons, which means that the inspector's got to go elsewhere for his information. Though this would seem to put the colonel's son in the clear, because he couldn't very well have committed this murder while he's locked up in jail, but we'll have to see how things play out in the next episode. Well, now we turn to listener comments and feedback, and we had a couple of comments on the Landini murder case. David writes on the site called X, I hope Osane came to his senses. Sadly not, but he was fortunate that Inspector Chan and Sam Holt were willing to give him a lot of mercy so he could get a good ending despite his bad judgment in this case. And I really can't fault them too much on it. And Holly, who emailed me before we played the second to last episode, emailed after we played the second to last episode and changed her mind on who did it. No, wait, it was Dudley Ward. Why not? Well, I'll allow it. I made my call as to who the murderer was. Well, I'd had an idea, but I firmed it up after listening to that second to last installment, so a perfectly valid change and decision, and in terms of reasoning, it's probably as good as mine and 3 minutes shorter. All right, well now it's time to thank our Patreon supporter of the day, and I want to thank Jennifer, who's been one of our Patreon supporters since November 2019. Currently supporting the podcast at the rookie level of $2 or more per month. Thanks so much for your support, Jennifer. We will be back next Tuesday with the next installment in the Willoughby murder case. But join us back here tomorrow for Broadway's My Beat, where
my sister is dead, you see. People have been bringing flowers.
I'm from the police. My name is Danny Culver.
And I've been telling them to deliver the flowers to the mortuary.
May I come in?
Come in.
Yes, I'm from the police.
I've never talked to a policeman before. Isn't that strange? Soon as you said you were a policeman, I remembered that. Never in my whole life have I done what I'm doing now. Please, come in.
It's about a man named John Webster.
In the kitchen. I'll show you. In here. My sister loves this kitchen so much. Here. Right from this window.
What?
My sister jumped right from this window. Everybody who comes here wants to see what window Agnes jumped from.
Your sister was a suicide?
Don't say that about her. My sister was really not to live.
I see. Now, perhaps you can tell me about a man named John Webster.
My sister was a woman who loved a man. She died for it. That's a woman's right.
What man?
My sister loved Thomas Perry. Truly loved him.
Thomas Perry?
You know him?
No, but...
Agnes knew him. She loved him. She was a child about love. The way a woman should be.
What about a man named John Webster?
John Webster. Oh, of course.
Of course what?
You have the wrong address. I never heard of a man by that name.
I hope you'll be with us then. In the meantime, send your comments to box13@greatdetectives.net. Follow us on Twitter at Radio Detectives. Check us out on Instagram, instagram.com/greatdetectives. From Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off.